And then Tyler texted me a few minutes ago and he said, ready. Sorry, he said it more like this. I'm ready to film the podcast. And then I responded, weird. Must have completely forgotten to ask. Hit it, Hutch.
You know what it is now. Boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Dude, you didn't see that coming.
What was that? No, I didn't see that coming because why? You just like, that was weird.
Well, dude, no, it wasn't. It was funny, first of all, and it was, if anything, mean. Welcome back to Until We Agree. This is Matt from Until We Agree, joined as always with my co-host Tyler from Until We Agree. The reason I came in mean, and I wanted to get ahead of this. I don't know what bone you have to pick with me, but on the agenda,
we'll get to it. Oh, we'll get to it.
I was told you had a bone to pick with me, and that has automatically put me into fight, flight, or respond, and I'm in the respond stage right now. So that's why I did that, but I wanted you to have a chance to open your mouth now.
Well, my bone to pick will come later because it directly correlates to something a game we will play soon.
Okay.
So we can do our little debate because I know you love little debates.
Dude,
and
you
then
said you
we'll
had
play
something to
our
talk
letterbox
about.
game.
You said
no,
you had
I
something to talk
do.
about outside of
but I can't. No, but I it segues perfectly out of the letterbox game we're gonna play. So I want to wait until then. Actually, no. I saw your. Fine, I'll do it.
Okay.
I saw your letterbox account, right?
Okay.
Well, I was gathering reviews. We're gonna play a game later,
Yeah.
letterbox game, where we're gonna read reviews, and then the other person has to guess the movie based on the review.
Mm-hmm.
That's a YouTube short I saw, and now we're stealing it.
No, we're innovating it. Yeah.
We're innovating
reimagining
it, adding to it for sure. But I saw your little letterbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, big guy.
Oh, I know what you're
You
gonna
stole-
say. I know what you're gonna say.
What?
Get out
Say
of here.
it.
Shut
Say
up.
it.
Shut up. You're gonna say because I watched Ocean's 11 and I said
You're not even close.
no. It wasn't that I stole the little Matt Damon joke that you made on your last movie you watched.
Well, that was part of it. You steal a lot of jokes in these reviews. Is what I'm realizing. We'll get to that later.
No, I don't. They're all original.
Parasite specifically is what I made the joke that Parasite was just another word for glasses.
No,
and then that's
no,
on your
shut
review.
Up, shut up.
And then
shut up.
And then
shut
and
up.
then
No, you did not.
On your
No,
bio,
you did not.
read
No,
your
you did
your
not.
letterbox bio to the people right now.
What? I'm guessing because I made this bio before you even had a letterboxed. So whatever you're about to say is wrong because I've had this since before you had the app, and you've gone quiet because you know you're right because I put you on to letterboxed in the first place. Oh, you're the worst, bro. My bio on letterboxd is film reviewer. I hardly know her. I don't know what yours is,
Right.
but
And
I'm sure it's something.
I don't care
similar.
about my no. It's not about my letterbox. What's my world famous climbing account?
Oh, you mean the thing that you also made after I made mine?
No.
Yeah, it is because I've had this since.
I have a bone to pick
I've had
with you.
Letterboxd since 2022, and I've had that since then. And you did not make the Parasite is just another word for glasses joke. There's no way. I thought on
did.
that for hours. I didn't know. What
It's just like my joke about Inside Out 2.
No, I hear you. I hear that. We're not talking about Inside Out 2. We're talking about Parasite. This is a different joke.
And I made the joke originally that it's just like glasses.
No, and I hope that's not true. And I'm it's probably on the podcast somewhere.
You're starting
in
to
history.
think that it is true. I know. I can hear it in your voice because now you're remembering.
No, well, the
now
fact
you're
of the
remembering,
matter.
and you're remembering all the songs I showed you. That 3 months later you were like,
No,
"Wait,
no,
have you
no,
heard
no,
this
no, no,
song?"
no,
And
no,
then
no,
I said,
no,
"Yes,
no.
I've heard that song. I showed you that song."
No,
and now
this
it's your
is
favorite
different.
artist, and
No,
it's
this
like,
is
well, that's
different.
crazy.
This is different. Editor Matt, in the future, if this is actually true, and I actually did steal that joke, put a clip in right now of Tyler making that joke about
You're
Parasite.
gonna find that. You're gonna find that really.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Editor Matt controls the edit. So if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Even if you made the joke.
Editor Matt, whatever. Hold on. Okay, go Editor
Don't-
Matt.
Tyler is taller than 5'9".
All right, whatever he just said is a lie, unless he said that I did make the joke. Then that's the truth. I know all of Editor Matt's tricks. I know how to get ahead of
You
them
don't,
and
though.
around them,
You
and
don't,
encircle you with the truth. Encircle the listener with the truth,
So
and that's always
you're
been my
saying
goal.
whatever is said after you say "Go ahead, Editor Matt" is true. Whatever is said there.
That's not what I said. I said it's a lie unless editor Matt said that I'm telling the truth.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that so when I go back later and put in something that's obviously not true, that you're okay with whatever is said there because you want to get ahead of things as well. Okay. That's good for me to know.
I, of course, want to get ahead of things and whatever. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Dude,
how was your week, man?
Dude, how about this? Shut up for a second and let me talk. How was my week? I'll tell you. Are you done?
Dude, me laughing at what you say that doesn't seem like the fight you want to pick, bro. I'm supporting you there, actually.
So here we go. Last week, I finished East of Eden. Great book. That doesn't even feel like a week ago. Then started reading The Shining, right? I'm all about The Shining. It's an okay book. I finished it. Now I've started to read The Sun Also Rises
Editor
by
Matt,
Hemingway.
Put in a snore sound effect here.
No, don't do that. I'm just giving you my reading history, and then we're going to go through the rest of the week. Other than that, I did almost nothing. I climbed a couple days, went to the PJ Superstore, excited to play some golf. Texted you about that.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
Yeah, we're gonna get out there on the links. How was your week?
It was good, thanks. Do you want to get into the debate now?
Yeah, you've been hyping up this debate for 3 weeks.
Okay, good, because I want to get into it as well, and I need a second. I don't want to edit this out, so I'm gonna think out loud because that's easier for me later in the edit. I'm trying to remember what the debate is. It's something about holes.
You don't remember?
I've got it. Well, I mean, I remembered it when I was going to do it last week, and then we got busy. So it's something about holes, and here's what I had to say about it. This is, I don't know. Everyone who listens at this point, I feel like, has just kind of been a listener for quite some time. But if you haven't, you may not know this because episode 1 has nothing to do with holes in the title. But one of our most incredible debates to date came in our pilot episode, and it was a question that Tyler asked, which actually kicked off the entire story of this podcast. And the question is a bucket a hole? Is a bucket a hole? HOLE. So that question, you can go back and listen to episode 1 if you missed it. Essentially, I say a bucket obviously is a hole. Tyler says, I'm Tyler, I'm stupid. And I said no. So that was both of us talking. And so that was what happened there. And I have now another question for you. And I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the context of the question, how it came to mind, because you can infer that for yourself. My question for you is, when it comes to the human body.
Yep.
I am under the impression that when it comes to the human body, I'm under the impression that eyes are holes.
No.
Why not? They definitely are.
Eyeballs are holes? They're balls.
Like the eye socket. The whole eye is a hole.
I don't know. It's tough. If it's person to person, because if you have an eyeball in the eye socket, it's more of a socket, not a hole, is it not?
No, and those would be this.
Why are they separate? Why are there separate words?
Well, because it's more descriptive for sure. But when we think about anything, it goes back to, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Is there another word for a hot dog other than sandwich? Yes. Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's not a good example. We're not going to talk about that. Is a taco a hot dog? There's multiple words that can be used to describe the same thing, but some words.
This is a bad analogy because it's just no. The answer is just no.
No, but the answer actually is yes, because when you think about it, it's a way to get into
what is this getting to? Are you trying to ask me how many holes the human body has?
No, I don't. That was kind of the question I started on. I don't want to go down that route because that's grotesque and inappropriate. So I didn't want to go down that route. But what I do want to go down is I think the eye. I think the
it's
eyes.
7.
Okay, that's fine. We're not talking.
Now, let me ask you something. Would you count the belly button?
No, I wouldn't. And we're not talking about that.
So the belly button's not a hole, but a bucket is a hole because it's similar shaped. That kind of goes against your logic.
No, you're right. I thought you were talking about a hole. Okay. Wow. No, you're right. I thought you were talking about no. I think you're wrong. No, shut up for a second. Just sorry for saying shut up. That was mean of me. What I'm saying is the belly button cavern is a hole, yes. I thought we were talking about holes because what I'm bringing to you is a hole that gets you inside the body, past the skin.
That's what holes are.
The belly button hole is a different, yes, but what I'm talking about in this circumstance is different.
It's more of a button.
It's more of a ravine. Yeah, but
And
a
some
ravine,
people have Audis, so
Yeah.
that's not even.
what
would you call that?
But then it gets into a different that is the defining point for me. Yes, but what it gets into is the belly button is a hole. Did my voice just crack?
Yeah, it
That's
did.
tough. The belly button is a hole because it has a plane and it goes down and you can put, I don't know, you can put something into it, and so that makes it a hole. I forgot what exactly I said was a hole. That was a year.
I don't know what you're doing with your belly button, but that's not. Most people don't do stuff.
But you could pool water in your belly button. You could pool pool water in your belly button. Yes or no? True or false? The answer is true. You can. So that makes it a bucket, which makes it a hole in a way. Yes, you're right about that. What I'm talking about is like the holes that take you into the human body. Like the ears are holes, like the ear holes are holes that take you into the brain.
Okay, but if we're going with that, then what are pores? Pores are an unlimited amount of holes in the human body then.
Well, I would say one
Follicles.
thing, you're horrifically wrong about one thing, is there's not an unlimited amount. We have a certain amount on our body. So to say that's an unlimited amount, you're
finite.
actually already wrong.
I apologize for being a bit exaggerative in my words.
They're being serious here though. And so
okay,
to be hyperbolic about something like that when there's not infinite, you're hurting your argument because we're talking about the real world here. Big does not mean infinite. And I want you to know that right now. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm big. You're small. I'm big. You're
not 6 feet tall.
I'm not infinitely big. So
no, and everybody knows that you're not infinitely big.
Yes, they know I'm not infinitely big. They know I'm big though. So that's a different question. Yeah, you're right. I think there's a real argument, and I'm glad you're taking me down that path. I think there's a real argument that I don't know exactly how pores work, and so I'm not going to get into it. But I think in the same way that I'm going to say that the eye socket, the eye area is a hole, I would say there's a chance that pores are the same thing. Yes.
Well, would you count mouth and nose as one?
Would I count mouth and nose as one?
And really the eyes. It's all sinus.
Well, I see what you're saying. I think they're separate holes that, but like think about like a cave system for a second. Can I put you onto a cave for a second?
Sure.
And this is actually, dude, first of all, spelunking is the dumbest name for anything ever. And that's a different story. We'll go down that path some other time. Agree? You agree.
That was embarrassing what you just said. I just want you to know that.
I know, and I don't like when you go quiet like that. That makes me look foolish, bro.
Like you put that out there, and I think you wanted me to say, yeah, dude, I also hate that, and then to be so vulnerable and say agree. And then it just is quiet. We need to sit in that for a second. But you go ahead, man.
No, okay, yeah, no, please agree with me on that. But what I was saying was, dude, spelunking is insane. First of all, that I don't like that, and that's like such a medium what's like a lukewarm take. It's insane, but it makes me, my AC is not working great right now, and it's making me even hotter thinking about spelunking. Anyways, caves. Caves are usually interconnected cavern. The caves are what interconnect caverns, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's true. And so in the same way, there's multiple holes that lead to the caverns that then lead to the caves. And so they all connected in a way, but they're different holes that get you to. But if you want to talk about it like, is a straw one or two holes? There's an argument there's actually 3 holes in a straw, when you think about it, because it has an opening that something can go into, and then there's one continuous flow through. That's the third hole. And so
you could argue that there's an infinite amount of holes in a straw.
No.
Yes, you could.
No, I'm not going to, and that's stupid.
It's infinite because the tiniest little section is a hole.
What are you talking about? What tiniest little section?
Like cut any section of a straw. And it's a hole.
When you say cut, this is what drives me crazy when you argue, is you want to bring scissors into literally every argument ever.
No.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Cut. Yeah, if you cut another hole, there's another hole.
Not even cut.
If you cut a hole, there's a hole. Yeah, that's a great point.
Not even cut.
No, that's a great point, buddy. That's a great point.
Look,
yeah,
you have a straw in front of you, right?
If my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bike, right? Like, grow up.
If you have a straw in front of you, right?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
And you put your fingers right in front of you, one in one. You see that?
What direction?
The straw is horizontal. Your fingers are vertical.
Okay.
You put them down on the straw.
Okay.
At both points of your fingers, you could argue that there's a hole just right at that point. And all throughout the straw, there's a billion little like points where it's a hole.
Are you talking like molecularly? That's what it sounds like
Yes.
you're getting at. Well, okay. No, I don't disagree with that because how all this works is atoms are just bouncing off each other, right? And so that's density. You're correct. And that gets into an interesting question. Is everything just a hole? And I think you have a real argument for that. But that's something I don't know. I don't quite understand physics.
You're not
and that.
really the science guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the science guy. I'm a logic guy.
If it doesn't
And-
have to do with the water cycle, then you're not for it.
Well, yeah. If you want to bring the water cycle into it, we don't have to today, and that's fine. But I can talk water. I can talk WC as much as you want. But when it comes to MB and D, that's not where I'm living. You know, that's not my specialty. But we all have specialties. That's life.
So is that you just wanted to kind of comment on the fact that eyes may be holes? That's all you want to say about this?
Yeah, and it sounded like at first you disagreed, and now it seems like you're in agreement that everything can be a whole. Yeah, because of
Yeah, I guess we've gotten to the point we've devolved this argument so much that now every single thing on Earth is a hole in it and just filled with holes, and the holes in themselves are filled with holes.
Yeah, and it's really
So
it's really we're kind of at the point where
it's existential.
if we were
almost.
essentially, and if we were in charge of the whole world, we could probably cut down the amount of words. We could actually probably unite the world just with our thought process, because people could learn our language, I think, pretty good. You know, if you think about it. And that's kind of what we're getting to, is there's too many words for too many things. And I think if you just say hole, I know what you're talking about every single time. You point to something and say, that's a hole. And I would say, yeah, pretty much. And then you learn that. That's like there, and there. You have to learn it to know what it is. And so to act like we don't know what it is, that's just immature, because we're going to learn what it is.
Right. Because think about how many words you could substitute. You just have to pick one, your favorite. And instead of saying, hey, plug my phone in on the charger over there, you say, plug it into that hole over there on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Literally the same message is getting across. I actually love that. That was a great example. I was floundering for one and you found one for me. Sorry, I was big fishing for one and you found one for me. I want to keep things simple.
Hey, nobody's better at keeping things simple than you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
So that's why you're big on movies now, big on simple movies. You had
special
movies.
movies,
You had
yeah.
you were dipping your toe into some intellectual ones, and now you're
Mhm.
back. But I have a game that I made up and did not steal at all.
Right.
And it's where I read you a letterbox review, and I'll go ahead and just say, in the letterbox reviews, if the name of the movie's in it, I'm just going to say redacted. Other
Okay.
than that, or any characters' names, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you the star rating that this person gave the movie, and then what they said in their review.
Okay. No, I love that.
I will start with this one, and these are, to my knowledge, all movies that you have seen, I believe.
Dude, and you're knowledgeable. So
So
that's good.
So this one, somebody rated it 4 stars. And they said, fellas, is it gay to go inside your bro's dreams?
That's Inception. That's Inception, Tyler.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, that's good.
1 for 1.
Dude, I have one. Should we alternate? Should we go back and forth?
Yeah, let's alternate.
All right. Here's one I have. Here's one I have for you. And 2 of these are my own reviews, and I will tell you when they're my review, so that gets you in the right headspace. But the other 6 that I have picked out for you I've just found in the wild. Okay. This is a 5-star review.
Oh, wow.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
I think I know, because I think I picked the same movie and may have seen this review.
Okay, go ahead.
But I can't say it, though, because
Oh, bro, say it.
if I'm wrong, then I've spoiled my own.
Bro, here's the thing: is why don't you say that one to me now, and we'll see if we agree.
Okay, true. Let me make sure I can find it. Yes, this is a 4-star review, and it is 2 bros chilling by a campfire, 5 feet apart because they're not. Oh,
that's Brokeback Mountain. Haven't seen it. Not the movie I was referring to at all. This is a movie that you have not.
Okay, then don't
this
tell
is
me.
a movie that you have kind of seen, and you're being a real jerk about it right now.
Oh, is it Ocean's 11?
It's Ocean's 11. Great movie, by the way. That's the kind of movie I think I like. A movie that has like a high tolerance for success and like and like the general like public's like perception of it, and it's just fun, man. That's a movie right there.
That's just a movie.
Yeah.
Well, I just gave you my second one, so why don't you go ahead?
Ooh, okay, this is a really, really good one. Okay. I actually gave this 5 stars, but 4 of them are silent, and this is a 1-star review.
Let me go ahead and reply with my review of the same movie.
Dude, we've seen like 8 movies combined.
1.5 stars. All the actresses in this movie deserve financial compensation for having to play cool, beautiful, talented dream girls who are in constant competition with each other and exist solely to soothe this random pretentious kid's ego and praise him for having the most, in parentheses, white male mainstream music history knowledge of anyone ever, and then throwing up face emoji.
Okay, we get it. It's Band Slam. Jeez,
It's Band
man,
Slam.
what the- That's crazy. That's really funny.
All right, you go ahead and go pop off with another review, and I'll reply if I have also chosen that.
Yeah,
that movie.
this one's interesting. This one's tough. Because I think it's gonna be. Now that I'm reading it, I think it's too obvious. So let's just get it out of the way. Dear Min, what's stopping you from being like Heath Ledger?
That'd be The Dark Knight.
Dude, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Are you?
Shoot. Sorry. Let me
You're
reply with one.
You're talking about the Joker? You're talking about the Joker? You're talking about the Joker right here?
Let me reply with one. Let me reply with one of the same movie.
You're talking about the Joker right now. What
3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. What a twisted web heterosexuals weave.
Dude,
3 stars. I can't believe this movie passes the Bechdel test.
That one's so good. I think I saw the first review you said. That this is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes.
And it speaks to your character that you said that was The Dark Knight when it's all men should be like Heath Ledger's character in this. Interesting.
Right, and I apologize.
Yeah, thank you for apologizing. Okay.
Go again. So let's
Dude,
keep it rolling.
We picked the same movies.
We did, but I'm sure I've got you on one of these. You go ahead.
Not sure if this movie took place in Detroit or Alabama. 3 stars.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I know this one.
One second. I need to talk to the Rat Pack really
Detroit or
quick.
Alabama. Okay.
Give me a second. Hey, Rat Pack. This is Tyler's review of the movie Barbarian. He wrote this review, and he's only written like 5 reviews ever, so I cannot believe he can't remember this. Okay, unmute. All right, go ahead.
Is it 8 Mile?
That's crazy, man. What if I told you that you wrote this review?
I wrote that.
Yeah, this is from at Ty the Cinema Guy on Letterboxd.
Oh, no. What could I possibly have written that on? Hold on.
Think about it, bro. This is a movie that we've seen that takes place in Detroit. And it has to do, and think about like
Detroit.
the Alabama part of the joke. It's kind of like, oh, like the fun like date your cousin thing. What's a movie that we've seen that takes place in Detroit that has to do with inter-family relations?
Oh man, I really actually don't know.
I wore a hoodie to this movie because I was scared.
Barbarian.
It's Barbarian, bro. A great movie, actually. I actually really liked it. But
I didn't know that took place in Detroit. That review did not age well.
Bro, that's the whole thing. What do you mean? That's like
I don't know. My
point.
favorite review I've ever given was for Saltburn, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, go check out Ty the Cinema Guy on Letterboxd to see his
I won't spoil the movie, but the movie is not a grave desecration, but that is in the movie.
Sick, man. All right,
man.
You go ahead. I think you finally have
Okay.
an original.
Yep. So I will go with this one. Quintessential dad movie right here. I started this movie childless. By the time I finished it, I had a mortgage, an ex-wife, and 2 kids who barely speak to me. Most of this film felt like a less captivating Moneyball, but it still has a lot of the same exciting sports management energy.
Ooh.
Also, what an emotional whiplash from seeing a young Chadwick Boseman on screen. Then
Dude,
to
you could-
moments
I already
later
had
seeing
it, man.
P. Diddy pop up.
Dude, I already had it. Don't worry.
The good and bad of humanity. All right here in redacted movie name, that is.
That's Draft Day, and it's Vontae
Yeah.
Mack. No matter what, no
I
matter
don't
what
remember
happens.
P. Diddy in that movie, but P. Diddy is in that movie.
I think he must have been. I think he was his agent or something, but I'm
Not
not
great.
positive. But yeah, no, he is. He's present in that. And dude, I almost picked that. I'm glad I didn't pick that one because I know we've talked about that before. That is a quintessential dad movie. It's not good by any means, but dads eat it up. I have one for
As
you
they
now.
do. Okay.
Yeah, that dads have been known to eat. Okay. This is a 5-star review.
Whoa.
Would have been even better if I could read.
Oh, I picked the exact same review.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Dude,
Parasite.
It's so funny that it was like I was looking through it. It took a while. It took like a couple of scrolls to find that one. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
there were because everybody was just rating it well.
Yeah,
it was just like incredible movie.
They were talking about how it changed their life and like the deep intellectual thought that went behind every scene in this movie. Every shot had meaning behind it.
I saw that one. Like, that's the one I'm picking.
And then if you didn't know, parasite is just another word for glasses.
Yeah. So I also had that one screenshot because that's what I was going to confront you about. We've already done that, so I'll go next.
Oh, I can see how that would have happened. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
2.5 stars. Wish they could shrink the runtime.
This has to be downsizing.
It is, unfortunately. I don't know why they would want to shrink the downsizing or the runtime. Everybody in the downsizing reviews were really upset because they were like, the first hour is the best movie I've ever seen, and then they just ruined it. And I'm like, I don't remember the first hour being that good either.
No, if you think about it, the whole movie was actually really bad from start to finish. But what I would have done for at least an extended cut, another 3 hours or so, ooh, that could have done something for me.
Because like that's the thing, I would argue the first hour is the worst part because Matt Howard. Whoa. Matt Damon is big in that part of the movie.
Yeah, that's the worst part. That's what took me out of it. Yeah, because I wanted him to be small.
Speaking of Matt Damon, Martian, great movie. The guy who wrote that book wrote Project Hail Mary. That trailer just came out.
Just saw that today. Yeah,
and I haven't seen the trailer yet. I'm not gonna watch it because I need to read the book before the movie comes out next year. And then we'll report back on that.
Bro, I'll spoil it for you. Ryan Gosling.
No. I know Ryan Gosling's in it.
Looking real good. That's all I'll say about
okay.
it. Consider yourself spoiled. Okay. Here's my next one. I'm looking back at this one now, wondering why I put it. I know why. It's because it's been rated 1 star. 1 star. Boat hits iceberg and sinks. Worth 3 hours of your precious time.
I got it.
No, not really. Go ahead.
Read the full review
though. Boat hits iceberg and sinks. Worth 3 hours of your precious time? No, not really.
Okay.
I'm done.
3 stars. Watch this for the first time as God intended on 2 VHS tapes.
But unfortunately, that is actually the number 1 review. So when you click on the movie Titanic, that's the very top one. And I hate to say you put little effort into that one, but yeah, no, that is the way it's done. Even on DVD, you had to put on 2 DVDs, which I didn't even think was possible because DVDs are huge. But yeah, no, that's the worst movie of all time if you're unfamiliar. I have another one.
Okay.
This one I'm guessing, I know you've seen it. I'm guessing it's not on your list. So I think we'll be good here. 4.5 stars. Oh, I want to also make it clear. This is a movie review Matt review. 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Would be 5 stars if everyone wasn't so British.
Everyone's okay. My immediate thought is you get 4.5 stars. It's a rom-com. And if we're talking British, there's one that comes to mind.
One that everyone's British in? That would make sense, yeah.
One that everyone's British in. And I can't even remember the name of it.
Bro, here's the thing, is I actually thought of this one because I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I know. I was looking back through all our old texts because I needed to find something, which I think I talked about. But what I ended up finding was me, you, and your girlfriend. Happy birthday to your girlfriend, by the way. I said it first. We were talking about this movie over text, and so that's what drove it back into my mind.
What's the movie? It's the Christmas one. I know exactly what it is. I just can't remember.
Hugh Grant is the prime minister.
Yes.
The guy who plays Bad Santa, I think, is the president of the United States.
Am I thinking of the right movie?
I think you are. It's Love Actually.
Oh, yes, Love Actually.
Man.
Because then it's the guy from The Walking Dead, and then that little boy who looks like a man somehow, but it's also a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Dude,
good
you did
pick,
not
man.
come to play with the big dogs today. That's sad.
All right, your turn. I don't know which one to do out of these first. Okay. This one is 4.5 stars. You see Haley Steinfeld in this, and everything Shamik Moore did starts to make sense.
I haven't seen this. I'm guessing it's Sinners, just from what I've seen on X.
It is. I thought you had seen. I thought you'd seen it, but you've seen all the stuff Shamik Moore was doing,
Well, I know Shamik Moore, who actually is not famous. He just voices a cartoon.
Yeah.
Is obsessed with Haley Steinfeld and thinks that they could end up together. But from what I understand, he's just a creep, and she's actually famous. And Michael B. Jordan is also handsome and famous, and that's maybe not even relevant because she's married to Haley Steinfeld now.
And by Haley Steinfeld, you mean?
And by Haley Steinfeld, I mean quarterback for the
Josh
Buffalo
Allen,
Bills,
yes.
Haley Steinfeld. Yes.
Yes. They'd probably get just as far in the playoffs, AO. Am I right, guys? We know ball.
That's topical. We have a huge contingent of NFL fans who engage with us on TikTok and Instagram at Until We Agree. And I'm sure they're listening now because that's kind of all the people who listen to us now. But if you're not one of those guys, thanks for listening. If you are, we're glad to have you too. Less football in here, but we still rock it every now and then. Dude, Patrick Mahomes, are you kidding me? This guy's on a tear recently.
All right, I got one more. Do you have one more?
Yeah, I have one more.
Okay, go.
Okay. And this is my other movie review Matt review.
Oh no.
And I'm just gonna give you the review. This movie is everything that the new Star Wars trilogy wanted to be and more.
I've seen this one before, so I think I know it. Didn't you? I swear you said that about like some dumb movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is not a dumb movie at all.
Are you sure you didn't say that? It's like it's like something you wouldn't think of it as anything like Star Wars, like at all.
No, and you're certainly on the right track.
Oh man. Okay, let me think. Okay, can you give me the genre of the movie at least so I can?
I'll tell you, it's 5 stars
really
and I gave it a
dial it in.
heart. It's 5 stars and I gave it a heart. And let me tell the Rat Pack really quick. This is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Obviously, I don't know how he's struggling with this. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I need the genre of the movie. You didn't give me the genre of the movie. You just said it was 5 stars and a heart.
Yeah, so you know what that means. It's a rom-com, bro.
Yeah, but that doesn't really.
Oh, so you asked for a genre. Okay, so you asked for a genre, and I gave you the exact genre, and now that doesn't actually help
No,
you.
no. Now you give me the genre, but before you just told me 5 stars. So I'm
bro,
just
because literally
sure.
you said it a second ago.
Stalling.
You say if it's.
I'm just stalling.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just trying to.
No, I
just trying
appreciate it. You're thinking. I can smell you from here.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. A rom-com. It's not How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, is it?
Dude, yes, it is.
Okay, what does that have to do with Star Wars?
Bro, I didn't say it had anything to do with Star Wars. I'm saying it's what Star Wars would have wanted to be. A successful movie.
Okay. I've got one more.
Okay.
Redacted actor is so bald. I've never seen anyone be so bald in my life. So moisturized and bald. He was glowing more than Edward in Twilight. What's your Megamind head skincare routine?
What? Bald. I'm thinking the most bald I've seen anyone is.
You're on the right track.
Is Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder?
No, I can give you a hint.
Okay.
I left out the last part of the review.
Okay.
What's your Megamind head skin care routine, Elvis boy?
This is Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
The only film series that can kill anyone as fast as they want to, even if they're an A-lister. It's crazy. Yeah, Austin Butler. You're right. He is more bald than Tom Cruise is in Tropic Thunder. That is a good one. And a great movie. If you want to listen to a good movie, if you want to watch one too, check out Dune and Dune 2. That's some good stuff.
Or don't, because that's like 7 hours of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah, no, you had to take PTO for it, but that's life sometimes. That was a great game. I don't know who's still listening, but I know I'm still listening, and I want to get into Q&A. Will you take us into Q&A?
Yes. Kim asks, if you could teleport your co-host anywhere, where would you teleport them?
Do you have an answer?
Oh yeah, I was asking you, so I figured you would answer since I asked the question and you would answer. But
no,
sure,
you're right.
I mean, I could answer.
No,
first.
no, I'll answer. You're right. That I was being foolish back there.
Obtuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Okay. My answer for you is a shower because of how stinky you typically are when I see you.
That's not funny.
Okay, let me try again. My answer for you would be.
You probably just heard it,
bro,
and Matt will probably say that there's no cut, but there was a big cut. It's the biggest cut. It's the biggest cut. They said
I'm leaving that in.
Cut.
I'm leaving that in because that's a dynamite impression, but the rest is getting cut out because you're just making a joke that isn't.
I'm
even
sure you're
funny.
Cutting it out. No, I'm sure you're cutting it out.
No, all of it.
And we all know why.
Okay,
Because you said something very insensitive.
No, stop it. Answer your question now.
You never answered it though.
Yes, I did. I said a shower, and I'm sticking to
Yeah,
it.
but
I'm not
then-
going to give you.
but then-
I'm not going to give you a second answer because you interrupted me when I was saying something not inappropriate, and then you cut it off like it was going to be some issue. No, the only person who should have an issue is you. But now I'm just going to stick with you're stinky because you are, and everyone knows it who's ever been around you, and I hope the Rat Pack knows it too. You smell bad.
You make me laugh.
Okay, do it then.
I did, but Mike didn't pick it up on your end, so you'll hear it in the edit. Don't worry about it. I would teleport you to one of two places.
Okay, go ahead.
And may I say both? Because the answer really was only for one.
Yeah, fine. Do both. It's fine.
One, Lebanon.
My home,
Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have to drive back 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. It's a 30-minute drive. 2, the North Pole, and you can't leave until you tell me what's north of the North Pole.
What's norther than the North Pole?
What's north of the North Pole?
Just everything is upside down.
You're freezing to death. Sorry.
No, I'm not, dude.
Yeah,
Also, space.
Space is not north at all.
Yes, it is.
Actually,
Yes, it is.
No,
Yes, it is.
no,
Yes, it
it's not,
is.
because
Yes, it is.
it's
Yes,
a
it is.
polar
Yes, it
thing,
is.
so you can't go north of north.
Okay, first of all, directions are not only polar. So grow up. First of all, no.
What do you mean no? You can't just say no and then like that's just
Bro,
a fact
here's
that you
the
can't
thing.
go north of the North Pole. It's because it's a pole.
You can't go. You. What are you?
Once you go past the North Pole, you're going south.
Not if you keep going up towards space. If you keep going up towards, if
That's
you launch,
not. That's
no,
not
no,
how,
no, no, no. Answer that.
That's
No,
not
answer
how
that.
north works.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
if
is.
you
Yes,
get to
it
the
is.
North Pole and you look up, you're looking up. You're not looking north.
Yeah, maybe if you're not able to think about space travel for a second, think about space travel for a second. They're going
I'm
north.
thinking about it.
They're going up.
No, they're not. They're not going north. They're going up. You said one thing correct and you said one thing very, very wrong.
Or actually, they're the same thing in a way. So actually, I'm
In
not.
a way,
We're
they're
trying to
not.
simplify.
Though. In most ways, they're not though.
No, if we're trying to simplify our language, north and up, we're trying to get rid of synonyms completely, right?
If we're trying to simplify our language, you're doing a terrible job because you're misrepresenting.
why don't you, hey, whoa. Yeah, you're doing a great job with English too. With
Cut that
talking.
out. Cut that
no,
out.
I'm not going
You're
to.
misrepresenting
look
the
at me.
cause.
I'm
You're
Tyler.
misrepresenting the
I
cause.
know how to talk without stuttering. Yeah, right. Clown. Editor Matt,
Good.
put in a clown nose effect there. And just use this
you're
one.
back. How about this, Editor Matt?
No. Why not this, Editor Matt? Hit it, Hutch. Oh, why not this, Editor Matt? Tyler, do the RFK thing that you hate so much.
I don't want to.
Oh,
Why not this, Editor Matt? Why not this? Why not this? Why not this? Hey, you're Matt Damon in The Martian, not even in Downsizing.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
Matt Damon. I'm Matt Damon, and I think Tyler smells. I can smell him from here, and I'm on Mars. I'm on Mars.
You don't even know how to get to Mars.
Yeah, you go up and then to the right. I'm not kidding.
What if the Earth is away?
Dude,
What if the Earth is simply
Teams?
away?
What are you talking about?
What if the Earth is simply away, bro? And then you're gonna go up and to the right, and nothing's there.
Bro, I'm starting on Earth. That's implied. We're already here.
But if you go up at the wrong time, you're going away from Mars. Let me put you under rotation for a second. Let me put you under rotation of the axis for a second.
Okay, but I'm not. No, but if you don't take off from the North Pole, okay. So if you're taking off from the North Pole, you're right. You would go up and to the right over Mars. But if you take off from like Houston,
I'm sorry. What?
I'm fleshing out an idea here. If you take off from Houston, which is not at the top of the Earth, and you go up first, you're still on the same plane because all the planets are on the same plane. They're on the same level, right? Because they all orbit around the sun. And then so you have to be the gravitational pull of the sun.
You really should check that out because that's not true.
That's true. That's true actually. And so if you had a,
you
if you
can't
had a
just
giant,
say it's true.
No, if you had a giant level, but then the level pierced through the core of every planet from Mercury to is Pluto. What's our deal with Pluto right now? If let's just say Pluto's a planet, and they were all aligned. You put them all through from the core of the sun through all the cores. It's going to be level. It would have to be a really big level, a huge level even. It had to be a big level. I'm not denying that.
You're talking yourself into just
they're at the same height.
Scientific fact that's not
they're at
true.
the same height. They're at the same height. No, they're at the same height, and you can trust me on that. So, if you take off from Houston, if you take off from to make it even simpler, if you take off from the equator, go up and to the right, you would be on plane and you would hit the equator of Mars.
Now, let me ask you a question about the equator, because it depends. Let's just Ecuador, right? It's named after the equator. That's probably somewhere near it. Let's say you take off from Ecuador, right? But it's 7 p.m. How do you know you're pointing at Mars at 7 p.m. and not at noon?
Bro, what I'm saying is that doesn't matter, because if you go up and to the right, if you go up and to the
let
right,
me put you onto a sphere for a second.
There's a greater calculation.
The equator goes around the
yet,
sphere,
obviously.
right? The equator goes around the sphere, right? You know that it goes around the sphere.
Right? Are you talking about Earth? The sphere?
Yeah.
What do you wait? The sphere?
No. I'm laying
around
out
the globe. Yeah, it's on the top of the globe.
I'm laying this out like you're a child because you're acting like one.
Okay.
So the Earth is a sphere.
Right.
More or less, right? The rotation, sure, it makes it a little bit of an elongated, but that's okay.
That's fine.
So when the equator goes around the Earth, it's pointing in 360 degrees because it's a sphere, right? So how do you know you're always pointed where up and to the right will be the right way? There is a way where down and to the left would be the correct way. And
no, because we wouldn't do that.
Yes.
We wouldn't do that. It doesn't make
what
any
do you mean
sense.
We wouldn't do
if you
that?
go down,
if you go down,
okay. If you take a rocket ship and you,
I'm not saying that
you shoot it down,
do this.
No.
I'm just saying that would be the correct direction at a certain point in time.
So for what you are saying, and I want this to be so clear, what you're saying is if you were flying a rocket, if you were the captain of a rocket ship, you would fly straight down into the ground to get to Mars. Yeah,
nobody's
that seems
saying
really
that.
smart. No,
I'm
that
saying
actually seems
at a certain point in the day.
I forget how big. No, I forget how big your brain is. I forget how big and smart your brain is. It has so many folds in it. You're so good at comprehension. Your brain is so cavernous that it's too smart.
In Ecuador.
Yeah, let's fly a ship into the ground and that'll get us to Mars. Smart.
At a certain point in time in Ecuador, that would be the correct way to go, even though it would be impossible because of the fact that you would go into the ground. So nobody would ever go into the ground.
So we would never do that. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
It's relevant because you're saying you could just go at any time. That's not.
I never said that. I never said that. I am always saying I would take off into space, not into the ground.
But what time?
It doesn't.
From Ecuador. What time?
That's a greater calculation for someone else. I'm not saying. I can. At any point you can take off and you would eventually hit Mars. You just have to either when you get to Mars, you either slow down or speed up.
Hit Mars
because different speeds, jet propulsion, even in space. When you get into space, when you get into space,
you travel speeds
because you travel at one speed. Stop. When you travel at one speed in space, grow up and stop laughing. When you travel at one speed in space, because of gravity, the lack thereof, and so there's no friction slowing you down. So once you pick your speed, you're going that speed. If you act upon If you act upon that force, it'll change the speed. And so if I need to speed up or slow down to hit Mars, when I take up and go off and to the right, it's gonna hit it if I get the speed right. It's like when you get to a red light. You're not gonna be going at 100 miles an hour and then you see a red light and it stays. You're just seeing a red light. You're not gonna hit the brakes a second before you reach the intersection. You're gonna ease into it. Or if you're about to if a light turns yellow and you don't want to run a red light and you have the chance to get through the intersection before it turns red, then you're gonna speed up to get through it. That's science. It works in space.
Real quick?
What?
Can I give you a compliment real quick?
Yeah, please.
It takes a master to use so many words to say so little of what is true.
Okay, I would argue that everything I said, there's no argument that every single thing I said was true there. Every single thing.
You said about the friction.
Dude, I've broken your brain. You can't keep up. This is like AP versus
that doesn't make
regular.
What you said just doesn't apply. You said there were speeds. That's all you said. When I asked
there are
about
speeds. That's how you would hit the planet. Because I understand the planets are orbiting. So when you get to the point in the orbit where Mars should be, and Mars isn't there, that means you either went too fast or too slow. Either you're behind Mars or you're in front of Mars. So you have to think about it in that capacity. You have to. Someone else is. I'm not here to do the calculation for you. I'm not. That's not my job, right? I'm just telling you. You're saying you want to fly down to get to Mars. You would crash.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying
the circuit. The
you
rocket
just weren't being specific enough with when you would need to leave, because there's a specific point in time in the year at a certain time you would have to leave, or it would be like you would just go off in the wrong direction.
Right. Because how could I forget that ships fly in a straight line. Rocket ships fly in a straight line. There's no curvature to their path. Yeah, right. That's what I forgot about that. I forgot we just fly in a straight line.
Well, we do, right?
Bro, I'm gonna put you onto a.
We calculate to where Mars would be in say 9 months, and go in a straight line to that location, and that's how we get there.
That's not even possible.
You don't steer a spaceship. There's nothing to steer it off of. As you said, there's no friction in the air.
Bro, but there is at the first part. There is at first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to go up and to the right.
26 miles of the atmosphere.
You have to go up and to the right. That's all I'm saying. You have to go up and to the right.
You don't go up and to the right. You go straight. You go straight and you meet it where it's gonna be in 9 months. That's
eventually
how you
go straight.
In space.
Eventually you would go straight.
Not eventually.
But you have to turn. Eventually. You have to turn because there's gravitational pull of Earth. The gravitational pull of Earth is pulling the ship into an ellipses. That is how that works. You do not just go straight in a straight line. You sound like an absolute buffoon. You sound like a. It's like I'm talking to a monkey. Like a monkey just learned how to speak English for the first time.
This is crazy.
I thought you
knew how space travel worked a little bit.
I actually do. Every single thing. Leave a comment down below if I actually nailed that, because you don't even have to if you don't want to. I know I did. That's exactly how it works.
Well, no, because what you do is you say you have to go up into the right, and then when I say no, you go straight. It's like, yeah, but you actually go up into the right until you get out of the atmosphere. It's like, yeah, you're not going to go perfectly straight out of the atmosphere. That's not. I'm not saying that you go straight out of the atmosphere and only go straight. But you acted like you can turn in space. That's what you were trying to imply. And then when I said you can't, you changed your story.
Okay,
you backpedaled.
first of all,
if you're gonna move the goalpost, at least make the field goal.
I'm gonna move the goalpost, and I don't even have to. Yeah. I'm right about everything I said. Whatever you said was correct. That's fine. But what you said was wrong. You can turn in space.
Whatever you said
with
was
a big
correct.
enough rocket. With a big enough rocket, you could turn in space.
It's not about the size of the rocket. It's just about whether you're gonna invest the money to have propulsion on the sides.
Yeah, we just said the same thing. That is the exact same thing.
It has nothing to do with the size of the rocket, though.
Bro, a bigger rocket might help. Might help that be stronger. Bigger.
But
that's
a bigger rocket would just be more weight to move sideways.
Because when we
fly, it'd be more weight to move
sideways. When we take a transatlantic flight in a Boeing 380, or no, in an Airbus 380.
Unbelievably different. That's not even a comparison.
Should we put a Cessna prop on the front? Is that how we want to navigate over the Atlantic Ocean? Yeah, that's how we want to navigate.
What is that comparison?
Because if I put a bigger rocket on the side of the rocket, it's going to have better propulsion. Yeah, you could have a small rocket with a big propulsion, that's fine, but it's going to be easier why not just get a bigger rocket? It's space. It's hard to move in space. I understand that. And
it's not hard to move in space. It's hard to get a bigger thing into space.
That's what
out of the atmosphere.
I get that. That's what we just said.
Did we just say that? By the way, did we just say that, or did I just say that, and then you just decided you would tack on to that?
Because you can't even understand what I'm saying.
Is this all in the outro? Understand.
Yeah, I was about to say this is the longest post credit we've ever had. I might keep it in front of the post credit just so we can keep.
Yeah, I think people need to.
I might put it in front of the letterbox stuff. Yeah, this might be the start of the episode.
Space. People love
space. All right. Let's
take it away, editor Matt.
Hit it, Hutch.
Gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
All right, here's the post credit this time for real.
Oh, we're doing another post credit?
See you next week.
All right, bye guys.